makeup. Like, I mean, she does. Okay. I used to be scared of doing the pink blush too.
Shut up, Jenny.
Liquid. But
it's, what time is it? It's 8:38. And I was like, should I record? Because I want to show how I start my nails, how I take them off. These are the ones that I have right now. But my problem is my freaking phone doesn't have storage. But we're gonna make this happen with my tablet. So here we go. The only thing I'm not gonna record is when I'm drilling, because I have a dust collector and it makes a annoying noise. Annoying noise. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you guys how it turns out and how long I freaking take. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I've always seen that girls be taking like 3-4 hours. And then me, it's like a 1 hour pause, 2 hours pause, because I'm a mom and I have to attend my baby. She woke up earlier, like 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, because Miss Thing wanted to go from her crib to my bed and wake me up. And I was drinking last night. I feel cruda today. I had my coffee. So cute. But to be honest, I always have to wake up before, like when I drink, I have to wake up before I feel well rested, because once I feel well rested, I have a hangover, and when I wake up earlier, I don't. Anywho, I'm gonna start it, because if not, I'm gonna take a long time, and then this shit's gonna take like 5-6 hours and continuing till tomorrow. So yeah, goodbye to the cutie. So meanwhile that I'm doing my nails, I'm watching, I was watching Jenny and Annette doing like a get ready with me, and now I'm watching her doing my mom's makeup video, and dude, she looks so different. Annette, if you're watching this, bitch, I love you. But I'm watching your video and I just love it. I love her personality, and look how different she looks before the mom face. Oh my god. Okay, so as you guys can see, I have horrible lifting always on this finger and this finger. These two, honestly, I can't freaking see, but as you can tell, this one, it's little to none. And I'm gonna show you. Look, you see how right here there's lifting? So on myself, but this is how much lifting I'm getting. This is only on my nails. Like on other people's, I work on my powder to liquid ratio more, but on myself, apparently I could care less, because look how much lifting I have. Another thing is I stub my nails. I use them as tools. I wash dishes. I do my regular things, but honestly, like, they are lifting. And I also do a lot of cuticle oil, so I don't know if that makes it worse, but look, when it's applied right, it does not lift at all. And I wash dishes. I use specifically my thumbs for freaking tools, so I don't know if that has to do, but yeah, that's only on my nose. So I'm gonna show you guys how I drill this off.
again, not to like degrade your feelings or anything like that, but I feel like there's always a brighter picture that sometimes it's just hard for us to see when we're clouded.
Yeah,
you know?
And I feel like that's all that, like you said earlier, like that's what I needed to go through in order for me to realize.
Yeah.
And that's on period.
Like I wasn't able to say not even a long time ago, a few even years ago, to be like sitting down here and be like, you know what? I don't want to kill myself. Like,
yeah.
I'm so blessed, and I'm so grateful that my mindset is not there anymore. Like, if something's rough is going on in my life, like, I never have those negative thoughts anymore. Like,
that's
all
good.
I think about is like, okay, this happens for a reason. Why did it happen? All right, cry it out. All right, it's fine.
I'm probably gonna be a better bitch after this.
Period.
Well, I'm not dying. I have my health.
Yeah.
I'm able to wake up in the morning, go to sleep, say good morning to my dogs. Like,
Yes.
you know, so I just don't take things a little too much for granted, and I apologize, and I
Okay, that's all I wanted to show you guys.
that I have made.
That was very important to me. But continuing the notes. All right, so I just took off the gel, and I'm looking at my, I don't know if you guys can see it. Zoom in. All that lighter part is my lifting. Oh my god, look at this hand. This is my dominant hand. So from my left to my right is like not that surprising. But this hand I have to work on improving, because this lets me know how I do on others, and it's not as this, like, it's not as this bad, or I don't even know if that's proper English, but it's not as bad as this. There you go. But on myself, it's always very poor application, and I promise you, I freaking push my cuticle back. I always overdo this part on myself, especially. I even be hurting myself because I don't think it's the speed. I always do it on the lowest speed, but I make sure that those white parts are like off. But anywho, so the lighter part from here up is lifted. From my pinky as well. Oh my gosh, dude, that's like a fucking D- right there. Oh, minus will be enough. But this lets me know how I'm doing overall. So this is the result after like what, an hour and 20. I barely got to just debulk it as much as I can for now, because I have to run to the store. But yes, this is where I'm at.
3 hours later.
Okay, so it's 12:21 already. Me thinking this is gonna be fast. Girl, I told you. I warned you. I freaking have like a zillion things to freaking do, as I'm trying to be Miss YouTuber. No más todo el cochinero. Anywho, right now, girl, I went to the grocery store. I bought my stuff, and now I'm already eating breakfast. I'm eating some apple slices and some oatmeal pancakes. And I'm still in the same part. Mira. Long process. Baby woke up. El señor de la casa had to eat breakfast before he leaves. All bad. All bad. Talking about plancha mi ropa. I said, sir, I'm eating. They don't leave us alone. They don't leave the mothers alone. Anyhow. When I'm done, I'm gonna get back to it. So I had to go pick up my baby change, and this is where I'm at. So now what I have to do after I debulk the lifted part, I have to cook and then come back here to cut my cuticles and go over with a fine sanding bit. If you know, you know. If you don't, it's with this thingy. And then I can start the application process. But I don't want to touch nothing after I do the application. And plus my baby is still awake. Right there, very much. So once that happens, I'm gonna come back, finish. I'm back after cooking, feeding my girls, and I could finally finish my nails. Mom life, you guys. This shit is not for the weak. I also thought I was gonna have someone to come and get their nails, but they canceled on me, so it is what it is. I am going to finally get these done, and I was thinking about what I should talk to you guys about, because I posted on my Instagram like any nail questions, but nobody freaking has any nail questions. So I am going to tell a story, which is not even like a big story. It's more like what happened to me when I got monomer poisoning. I think it's such a like I don't know, it was hard. It sucked. It made me really think about what I'm doing, if it's even for me. So basically what happened was I removed some nails off of my in-law, and then the next person I was going to do their nails, which was my niece, she sits down and I was going to add acrylic to her nails. She was getting a fill. I didn't put my mask on to remove the nails, even though I have dust. And now, you know, once it was my niece's turn, she just sat down and I just got to it. I also didn't have my mask on. I got really comfortable with my dust collector and just, you know, everything open. The windows, the doors are open. I didn't think nothing of it. So I continued doing my thing. And once it comes down to the acrylic, I did feel like I got my chair more adjusted to the height of my table. So I was lower, closer to the acrylic. So I'm like this, adding the nails and the powder. And that strong ass chemical, if you don't know what monomer is, it's the strong ass chemical that's from the that you smell at the nail salons. So that chemical is what I was close to and inhaling. I inhaled it, and I believe that I did somehow digest it. So 30 minutes after my niece leaves, I started feeling like if my pressure dropped. And if you have an Apple Watch and you know how to check your heart rate through there, it tells you obviously in the moment what your heart rate is at. So mine went from like 70 something to like 138. And I was holding my baby and I was about to clean my mess from my table. So when that happened, I just kind of felt like I was going to drop my baby. So I just put her down, and my in-law was here. So I told her like, hey, I'm feeling sick. Like, I don't know what's going on. I started getting dizzy. And I don't know, I did not think it was the monomer at that time. So the more I was feeling, and I just started thinking like, why am I feeling like this? Like, girl, am I pregnant? I was like, hell no. I hope not. I was like, no. There isn't a way. You know, TMI, but there isn't a way. So I'm over here like, like, was it any chemical that I used? And I started looking up like the acetone or the monomer, and the symptoms of monomer poisoning matched what I was feeling. And I had only checked off like three symptoms, and the more time passed, the more I got more symptoms. So it got so serious right when that happened that I did call the ambulance on myself, because I called the ambulance because I felt very, very sick. I felt like I was breathing and the oxygen wasn't like going to my brain. Something felt off. I felt so dizzy. I felt like throwing up, passing out. I felt nauseous, but I didn't feel like a heavy stomach of throwing up. So it just felt very weird. I just felt very sick, and I was on the phone with my boyfriend and telling him like, hey, I feel sick, like, where are you? Because I have my baby here and my other daughter, and you know, I even had my little in-law here, and she was just kind of like, hey, like, what do I do? Should I call 911? I felt so bad. So basically I just ended up calling the ambulance, and my neighbor, shout out to my neighbor, I hope she sees this video and knows that I'm like praising her right now, because she called her daughter to help me to go downstairs, because I live in apartments and I'm on the top floor. So her daughter came to help me walk downstairs. That's how bad I was feeling, and I didn't even know if I was going to be able to make it downstairs. So I'm so thankful for my neighbors and that were like this, because imagine like not talking to your neighbors, not feeling, you know, trustworthy that they're gonna help you if they, or vice versa, if I could help them when they fall, when they feel sick. Like, no, the we both feel safe around each other, like as neighbors. So I'm so happy that they were here, they were home, and they like offered right away. And the way that they found out was through my boyfriend, because we have each other's phone numbers. So they called me right away and they were like, hey, what's going on, you know? So I go downstairs and then they were like, are you sure you want to go to the ER? I had to. I was like, yes, I think I should. They came and they told me that they weren't really gonna do much to me at the ER. So I was kind of confused, and in my head at that time I was just like, well, if you guys are saying that they're not gonna do nothing, then I'm just gonna stay. What's the point of me going? So I was like, okay, like if you say so. They were checking my vitals. I was like, look, I have my Apple Watch and it said that it was at 139 and it was too sudden, like I didn't do nothing. And they were like, no, we understand, but like, you know, the chemicals that obviously you used is probably just the effect, it's gonna pass. And I was like, okay. So like 2 hours passed. I felt like that the whole 2 hours. I felt like like I don't have any other description. I don't know what else to tell you. I felt horrible. I'm not sure if any of you guys are old enough to drink or have drank before, but if you've been have you been so drunk before and like you close your eyes when you're laying down and you feel like you're going through a roller coaster, or like if you're falling? I just felt like that the whole time, but I wasn't feeling like good or numbed about anything. I felt horrible. I just felt horrible. So 2 hours passed and I'm sitting outside. My boyfriend already had came and like he was with me outside. But then I told him, like, you know what, like it is, you know, going down. So I don't know. You could go inside, rest. I'm like, I'm just gonna stay outside though. Like I'm fine, but I do feel like I need fresh air. So I was just trying to air my lungs out, and I did feel like when I was inhaling through my mouth, like if I had, like when you brush your teeth and you have like that fresh breath, that minty, you know, freshness in your throat. That's how I felt. So that's how I knew like I had definitely been too close to the monomer. So now I'm just like with my freaking mask, you know, on handy. But yeah, it was horrible. The next day, I woke up thinking I felt better. I didn't feel better. I didn't feel better. I started to get worse. I started getting diarrhea. I started getting like the shakes. I started to have stomach cramps. I still had the dizziness. It would leave and then come back suddenly, and all I got to do was like my dishes and like shower. That's the most I got to do. I couldn't even get my baby a cup of water because even getting up made me sick. That started to make me very, very depressed. Like, dude, should I even be doing this? Like, I'm doing this at my house. So it's like, it made me think, I don't know, it just made me really, really sad. Yeah, and like it was just really hard because this is something that I'm really, really passionate about, and I really want to go to school for still, regardless of that incident. I feel like it was my fault, obviously, for not taking the proper, you know, precautions to protect myself. And I definitely got too comfortable thinking just the open door and the window open is going to air out my apartment. But no, these chemicals are not to play with. I wasn't playing with them at all, but it's just something that I just swept under my freaking head and didn't think, oh, it's gonna, you know, affect me. I really didn't think. Or my niece that I did her nails. Like, I didn't think about nobody, not even myself. So I did feel very bad, and I did check on my niece because I felt so horrible. I thought that maybe she was close enough too because, you know, I'm doing her nails. But she said she felt fine. I was, you know, just really close. So to make the story short, because I'm already at freaking like 10 minutes. So day 1, that happened at night. Day 2, I woke up, started having the diarrhea, the chills, the everything, and the cramps. I couldn't even get up. So day 3, in the middle of the night, I started getting fever. I felt like at one point I stopped breathing, and I got up from my sleep, panicked as hell. Like I thought I don't know, I just thought I stopped breathing, and I woke up like if I was being suffocated. And I just got so scared I couldn't really sleep that night at all. So later on in the, you know, my mom came and she was like looking at me, and she said that I looked very pale. And I went to the restroom, and I didn't want to look at myself, but when I see myself, my lips were honestly like close to white. I had no pink. I just didn't look okay, and I was scared to go to the ER because I was like, what if they tell me something like, I don't know. I feel like everybody feels scared to go to the ER when you aren't trying to go. You're not trying to accept it, but you have to go. So I went, and they checked me. They just told me that they can't really check me for any nail chemicals, but I had no infection. I was just getting the symptoms of being poisoned by the chemicals. It's kind of like exposing yourself to any cleaning chemicals. A lot of Latinos use cloro to wash your dishes, to wash your bathroom, to do everything. And honestly, I stopped using cloro for my dishes. I now use vinegar and regular soap. It doesn't smell like it literally cleans them just as well. I learned my lesson by they gave me medicine for my nausea and my dizziness. They gave me an inhaler at the hospital, and they checked my blood and just gave me an overall checkup, and nothing. They didn't come up with nothing. They just said I was going through it over the poison, whatever, the EMA poisoning. So yeah, I definitely learned my lesson. As soon as I felt better, by like the 6th or 7th day, which I was like finally able to do my nails, but I was very, very scared. I was like not sure if I should even continue doing the nails. And I went outside, and I just did my nails outside. And if you know that the weather fucking impacts the way that your acrylic runs. So I was out there struggling. I was just like, I want to do some nails. I'm like, I want to do my nails. So these are the first nails I did after my experience. And now I'm like really trying to push it to go to school soon, trying to find any type of funding, help that I can get by, just doing my research and hopefully getting to school soon, because that has a lot to do with this incident. Like, if I would have known, I would have not thought to get so comfortable with it and do it around, my in-law and not even have my family member, client, whoever is getting their nails done, like, have them without a mask. I feel like prioritizing the mask also for the customer, whoever is doing their nails. So I think that is very important. And I did add that to my policy ever since I started doing nails, because I'd always wondered when I used to get my nails, how come I don't get a mask? Like, what are you doing with your mask? And we're kind of the same distance. So I prioritize that on my policy. A lot of people, though, haven't been coming, and not that they're disrespecting it, but people are just getting they get my availability from my personal page, which does not have my policy on my highlights, or I don't always post it with my availability. So whoever follows my nail page gets to see all my highlights, my policy, my prices, whatever I have on there. It's like not something people do on purpose, but it should be very much a priority for all nail techs to do that. That was my little story experience that I had to freaking go through in order to understand that these chemicals are not to freaking mess with. So back to it. Cover that the acrylic that I'm going to be using is from Young Nails, and it is cover pink. My brush, I have to put it into the monomer for a little bit. Okay, I'm going to let it soak in there for a while, then I'm going to add it. Now that I finished with I'm using the sanding bit to do my natural nail and over the acrylic, making sure there's no lifting in between. I'm going to clean my nails with some alcohol. I don't know how other girls do it, but I do this with my clients. I dust that off, right? So I make sure I leave it like so, right? And then I get my dehydrator. This is the one I use with a primer or the Super Bond, and I also use the Young Nails. I'm not using it for the fill only because I over apply and then the application messes up. When you add too much of the Young Nails Protein Bond, I always mess up. So I'm going to add dehydrator. I'm only gonna do one hand at a time because just in case that I touch this hand, I already added natural oils to my nail bed, which messes it up, and then that would be a waste of product. So I add 2 coats. And then make sure that if you know, you know, but if you don't know, you gotta wait for your dehydrator to dry completely, and then you can go ahead and use your protein bond. There's just things that I've been learning that have been making my nails last like 3 weeks. So honestly, the most it used to last was like maybe a little over a week, but then they would start lifting, you know, as people do their normal things. But now they're like 3 weeks, little to no lifting. So I'm going to get the protein bond. Just make sure that you got the whole thing covered. So now that it's covered, this is the part that I wasn't really good at or ready for. I have to open up everything and try to do it. I'm so scared, but okay. I'm gonna just try to do this really quick before my baby wakes up because I have to do this like fast. So far, I just filled in these 3, and they need this one and this one. But this is what it looks like so far. I would use my phone, but it's freaking has 0 storage. But this is how it looks so far. You see, I build my I forgot what it's called, but the structure of it, so that there's no breakage in the middle or anything. Okay, it is very thin at the tips. Your nails shouldn't be thick. If they ever do them really thick, tell them to make them skinnier from the ends, not here. You can't get rid of that bulky part because that protects your natural nail from breaking. So this is what it's gonna look like. I'm going to try to show you guys how I do my index finger in real time. So I just let that part fall and let it do its thing. I remove some acrylic. I think it's like touching the skin a little. And I want to remove some because I did put a lot. That is how it's looking. It's not too thick from the top, not too thin. And that is simply my application. So the way that I know where I'm supposed to build that bridge is where it begins to, I'll show you guys right now actually. Okay, so say on your regular, nail without the acrylic, where when you press down at the natural nail, when you press on it like this at the end, wherever it starts to appear white on your nail, that is where you're supposed to see the length increase, or like the thickness like increase. So not a big bulk like this, but it's supposed to kind of be like in the middle, you know, just really smooth, not like this straight like that. No, it has to be just perfect. So that's what I learned. Pretty sure every nail tech has like their preference. Maybe this is too thin, but it just all depends on how your nail is structured. Let me see. And then yeah, so I'm gonna show you how I do my thumb. Since it is very like a little space, I'm just gonna get a little bit, push it to the left, okay, swipe it down, push it up to the right, okay, swipe it down, get it there in the little corner, work it. This may not be the best like angle because I'm doing it on my tablet. Obviously I can't put my freaking tablet on the stand, but something. Yeah. So it looks like this. This one I do think it's too straight. I'm going to add just a little bit. So when I put my brush, make sure all the air bubbles are out. And then I take out a lot of the liquid, pour it into the, I blend it on the top, let it fall. Okay, I'm gonna start blending it. I kind of pushed it too hard, but I'm supposed to gently make strokes downwards and it's going to level out. Anything that's bumpy, try not to mess with it no more. I could fix that with drilling. But now it has some type of structure. So this turned out to be the conclusion. I am super happy with it. It is very cute. And then this one. Now to clean up. Right? So I forgot to end my video yesterday. It's the next day. But I just wanted to show something. This is my nails. I went to the park and I was holding my daughter's hand and she like pulled me like this and it just snapped off. All that effort. Look. No. I'm gluing that bitch on. Okay. We're not wasting it. That's sad as hell. I think it's gonna break off again. Cause it's off already. I did wanted to show you guys because I know that there's a lot of girls who try to glue on their whole nail, but it doesn't work like this. This one, it broke off from the end, not from here. When it's from here and you try to glue it back, you're risking your nail to get like fungus. So don't do that. Since mine was literally the tip right here, I'm able to glue it back, but it's very much ghetto. It looks ghetto now. You see, nothing happened. Okay, ahora sí, bye.